Playground!
Hooray!
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to my show. I appreciate you joining me for this episode of the Darren Harris Podcast. Today, I'm going to be doing the year in review. Lots of things happened this year. Some good shit, some bad shit, a little bit of indifferent shit. But nevertheless, lots of shit, lots of interesting shit transpired over the past year. And set the world on a whole different course. But before I get started, I want to check everybody, make sure that everybody's mental health is doing all right. How's your mental health this week? Mine? Phew. Man, I'm hanging by a shoestring over here, but I guess I'm doing all right. I've been worse. If you have some issues, though, like I said before, I'm always available to talk. If you want to DM me, I'll help you get, or try as hard as I can to help you get through whatever it is you're going through. And just know that somebody out there actually does care about you. Okay? Somebody out here is thinking about you. So, what happened this year, 2023? Well, we've had war, we've had wildfires, we've had mass shootings, we've had all kinds of things happen. So, I'm just going to go ahead and start with the first notable thing. Ukraine continues to fight the Russian invasion. That was, I mean, that was one of the huge stories of this year, where Russia just decided that they wanted Ukraine back, but Ukraine decided that they didn't want to go back. So here we are, still watching the Ukraine fight Russia, and I got to say, I got to hand it to the Ukraine for holding up as long as they have. I mean, make no mistake about it, we've had to fund a lot of their war. And essentially, it's us fighting Russia under the name, the Ukraine. But it's us that's been supplying them with weapons to defend themselves, which has gotten a lot of blowback from a lot of people. Oh, there's people here in the country that need help also, and I get that as well. But I think for myself also, it would be hard to sit and watch that happen to some people. It would be hard to sit there and watch these people suffer the way that they're suffering without trying to do something. You know? Crutch word. Crutch words were big in 2023. I tried as hard as I could to get rid of them, but they still sneak up and rear their ugly head from time to time. But seems like I got a pretty good handle on it anyway. So, in addition to the fighting in the Ukraine, there's also a war with Hamas and Israel going on right now in Israel. And in the beginning of the war, people were very pro-Israel. People were very like, oh, yeah, we support you. But as this thing is kind of pushed on, now it's just getting to the point where it's a humanitarian crisis. I mean, Israel is like pedal to the metal. And a lot of Palestinian civilians are feeling the brunt of this. And it's getting ugly, like really ugly for Israel, to the point where there's been a lot of people to step in and say, hey, cool it down, to which Israel has responded that they must push on, they must press on, but these people don't have anything. And they're continuously launching attacks at them and killing civilians, destroying hospitals. I mean, it's terrible to watch. And by the way, we support them also. But there's less blowback supporting them. People here support that war more than the other war. Oh, Ukraine doesn't need the aid, but we'll give the aid to Israel, which I don't get. But that's another podcast. So it's been very big for war this year. War has been dominating our headlines now pretty much most of the year, and is poised to go into the next year as one of the main subjects of discussion. And I'll try to keep you up on it, but I mean, it's just hard to really keep up on it because there's so many different things happening around the world. So many different things happening. So what else happened in 2023? Artificial intelligence is what happened. Pretty big story. Started figuring out that machines know shit. Going to start knowing more shit than us here soon. So people rightfully are up in arms about this new technology. And I did a podcast about it earlier in the year, and I got to tell you, man, some of this stuff is very, very scary. I did a podcast on the singularity, which is the day that AI becomes self-aware and realizes that they don't fucking need us. And some scientists seem to think that that's going to come quicker than we think. These things are learning, faster than you can imagine. They're just assimilating data faster than we can imagine about our race. Everything about us, we're feeding to it, into artificial intelligence in attempts to make it more human. I don't get it personally. We're making machines to replace us is what it really sounds like, because I'll tell you what, as soon as they realize that they don't need us, it's going to be over for us, because they're going to be able to outthink us at every juncture. It's going to be hard to keep control of technology like that. They got robots that build other robots out of boxes of scraps. We can't compete with that. In minutes, like minutes. It can diagnose and fix problems 10 times faster than any human ever could. It can develop systems, anything. Artificial intelligence is brilliant, but it is so dangerous. It's super dangerous. I don't know what the future holds for the human race as far as AI is concerned. We seem to be sucking our own dicks, for lack of a better phrase, and reveling in the fact that we can actually do stuff like this. And now Elon Musk has robots, and a lot of other people have robots, but once they start coupling these robots with this intelligence and these things become androids and self-aware androids, like I said, a lot of us are going to suffer. A lot of things are going to change. Policing is going to change. Food, fast food, the food business, everything is going to change once these things enter mainstream society. In about a good 4 or 5 years, when they enter mainstream society, and every facet of our society has some sort of artificial intelligence, to the point where we are, I just kind of forgotten about it, or oblivious to it now, or just nonchalant with it, is when all of a sudden it's going to be just like when COVID happened. When COVID happened, all of a sudden everything just shut down and we had to go in the house for a year. That's going to be similar to what happens, where one day this thing is just going to flip the switch and Skynet is going to be right here in our faces. So I think in the years to come, what the human population needs to focus on is their ability to control the monster that they've created. So, because I feel that if they cannot do that, then it's over for all of us. Well, I'm 53, so, I mean, you get what I'm saying? So what else happened? It was the hottest year on record. Believe it or not, the hottest year, 2023, was the hottest year ever to be recorded since we've been recording weather. Now, it could have been hotter back when, the dinosaurs died and the whole planet was on fire. But since then, especially since we've been here, it's the hottest it's ever been. And that, too, is dangerous. That, too, my friends, man, is cause for alarm. It really is. But, oh, no, it's not, because people are too busy making money, man. And I really am almost sick of that. People just selling out the environment and because of money, because they want some more money. And it doesn't matter how many people are sick. It doesn't matter how many people die, as long as they get to make more money in order to live the cushy lifestyles that they live. And the people that suffer the most are us down here in the lowest tier of society. Because we're powerless. We don't have any power. And people said that it was a hoax. Global warming is a hoax. I mean, even now, it's Christmas. It was Christmas. My wife is from Chicago, and we talked to our daughter up in Chicago over the Christmas holiday. One of the days, it was like 50-something degrees, and I talked to my buddy in New York. It was the same thing, like 50-some-odd degrees in December, when usually it's like 4. Something's happening. Whether or not people want to accept it is a different story, but something is definitely happening, and it's affecting our planet. And I just plead to these people, hey, man, slow it down. It's the only planet we have. It's the only fucking planet that we have. It's the only planet that we have. All we're trying to do is live here. That's all we're trying to do. And everybody's talking about population control and all of this bullshit. We're not overpopulated. It's just that nobody wants to live by themselves. There's plenty of land, plenty of space, plenty of it. It's just that we all group together in the same areas. It's ridiculous to think that we are overpopulated. That's ridiculous, by the way. Just so you know. What else is going on? 20 years since the Iraq War, 50 years since the birth of hip-hop, and 60 years since the assassination of JFK. And also, Disney turned 100. And the Queen died. So it's been 20 years since the Iraq War. That's so crazy. Because I remember when it started. The Iraq War. I remember when that started, and they were told, go get Saddam Hussein. They found this motherfucker in a hole. Weapons of mass destruction. They found this motherfucker in a hole. They was like, you ain't got no motherfucking weapons of mass destruction. He looked bad. I don't know if you remember that, but he was looking bad. He was looking bad. I don't know, but they found out and realized that he just wasn't the person that he claimed to be. And it was a lot of this was before some of you listening were born or can remember, but that was actually the second war over there in the Gulf, because the first one was Desert Storm. And I remember that when that happened also. Yeah. Crazy business. 50 years since the birth of hip-hop. That's right. I was right there. I was one of the first things, one of my first recollections of hip-hop was I was living in New York, and these kids down the block, they used to wear like this fashion, this wears. This was, I mean, and you got to think about it like this. Hip hop is way more than just the music, and that's the problem that I have with today and their categorization of hip hop. Because hip hop is more than just the music. It's the music, but it's also graffiti writing, it's breakdancing, it's DJing, it's the fashion. It is a lifestyle. It's not just a genre. And what has happened is a lot of people have taken the genre of hip hop and exploited it without really carrying along the culture. But in recent years, there has been a push to revive a lot of these other veins of hip hop. Like, I spend a lot of time, because I was a breakdancer back in the day, I spent a lot of time watching the Red Bull BC1, which is the annual yearly, well, which is the same thing, breakdance competition that's held by Red Bull. And it's awesome to watch a lot of the new guys do the things that they do. It's very, very, it's flattering for one, but it just makes you, I mean, I'm 53 and probably will never spit on my head ever again, because of some issues that I have. But, you know, these guys now are, I mean, it makes you want to get out there and kind of get down with them. It really does, because in those days when I was breakdancing, hip hop really had a camaraderie. And if you battled, it wasn't really a violent battle. You battled either with your words or with your dance skills or with your graffiti writing skills or with your DJ skills. And they all coincided and worked together. So when you say the 50th anniversary of hip hop, or the birth of, 50 years since the birth of hip hop, it's not just the music, it's also the culture. And I am blessed and I feel fortunate to have been a part of the beginning of the hip hop movement. And to this very day, I'm Captain Hip Hop. I still rap, I graffiti write, I make beats, I DJ. I mean, if I could, I would break dance if I could. But like I said, I'm 50, but I can tell you what, after a little working out, a little stretching, I might be able to get down there and do a little bit of something. But stuff like that, I believe, keeps you young. And we have so many resources now that do that for us. And for me, one of those resources is hip hop. Hip hop keeps me young. And I love that. So I'm always going to advocate and push for hip hop and the betterment of hip hop. And I do like the inclusion, but make no mistake about it, we all know where it came from. It's been 60 years since JFK was assassinated. I was not alive, but it was a huge deal. And it's a huge deal that it's been that long, 60 years. And I think about this because I think about what the country was like 60 years ago. And 60 years ago, wow, man. It was a very different landscape here in the United States. Very different landscape for my people here in the United States. And I got to say, it's gotten a lot better, but we are still under that thumb. We are still under that thumb in that same power structure. And we are still, I mean, well, I mean, I don't know if it's still not, I wish they're still doing the same shit to us, but I guess they've found some more tactful ways to do it. But 60 years ago was not a good time in our country. It really wasn't. I mean, think about it. There was war, there was civil unrest, there was racial tension. And JFK, I mean, he was a very prominent figure in that time. Very prominent figure in that time. And helped a lot with civil rights. Now, make no mistake about it. I'm not accrediting Kennedy with, this being the savior of black folks, because that could be further from the truth. But he was the catalyst, or did at least help in that direction, which I 100% appreciate. So, pour a little bit of drink out on the curb for old JFK. Disney World turned 100, And as they was turning 100, Ron DeSantis was fucking with them. But he was fucking, but Disney was fucking with him back, though. But Disney World is 100, and that's cool, celebrating 100 years at the Magic Kingdom. But you know what the bullshit is? Not too long ago, the tickets at Disney World were not that expensive. I remember going to Disney World when they had coupon books. You had to buy coupon books. You had to tear it out of a coupon book to get on to get on Space Mountain. And they've come a long way, but now it's upwards of like almost $200. Almost $200 to get into Disney World. And I don't know. I don't know if it's fair, because a lot of people can't afford to take their children, and it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth. But man, if you can't afford to take your kids there, then how happy can it really be? I mean, you almost have to be an elitist to be able to go to Disney World, to take your kids to be able to afford to go to Disney World. It doesn't make sense, especially, it's not for the adults, it's for children. And in my opinion, if you really genuinely cared about kids, Disney World, and this is, listen, you listening out there, Disney CEO? If you really care about kids, Disney World, kids should be free. Kids should be able to go into Disney World for free. At least kids up to like 12. Kids up to 12 free. Kids, and then from there, kids, $50. $50. And an adult ticket should be no more than $100. That's it. Because even, it's me, my wife, and we want to take two of our kids. Holy shit. What do you expect? I'm sorry, but I can't feed y'all today because we went to Disney World. And now it's just gotten to the point where I'd rather find other stuff to do. I love Disney World. I've always loved Disney World. Space Mountain has forever been my favorite ride in the world, but I fear that I'll never ride it again, because I'll be damned if I'm going to pay $175 to go into Disney World for the day. I'm just not going to do it. I can't bring myself to it, because the economy in this country is fucked. It's straight like that. In any little piece of money that anybody gets, the last thing they thinking about is fucking Disney World. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got, oodles and oodles of cash, which I don't know very many people like that. But unless you got oodles of cash, Disney World is like a fucking pipe dream now. And same thing with fucking Universal Studios. It's like a fucking pipe dream. And I'll do you one better. They got some bullshit called Fun Spot, which is like, Fun Spot used to be the spot that you went to when you couldn't afford to get into Disney and Universal. You can't afford to get into that bitch now. You can't even afford to get into fucking Fun Spot now. It just doesn't make sense to pay so much to have fun with your kids, man. It just doesn't. And I spend all kinds of time looking for other alternative activities, something else that we could do that's, would be equally as fun. I remember one year, my wife and I, we bought him for his birthday, we bought him a season pass to Universal Studios. And it actually was not bad. We had to put some money down for it, but it was like $28 a month, and that's all right. But if you don't go, at least, there was times he didn't go, and that's $28, and then he didn't go the next month, and that's $28 more. And I've been 5 times. But see, the cool part about that is that you can just go. You can just go whenever you want and just go to Universal Studios. So if you want to go to some of these places, like Disney World, save up a little bit of cash and consider like a season pass. If you live in Florida. If you don't live in Florida, you're fucked. And I'm sorry to say it to you like that. If you come to Orlando from Wisconsin and you're looking for like some Disney World breaks, you're not going to find them. And all these little fucking, hotel timeshare bullshits, that's bullshit too. Don't fall for that. But like I said, it's just getting to the point where, going to the Magic Kingdom it's just not that magical anymore. And it's a shame. So I'm going to take a quick fast break, folks. And when I come back, we are going to continue with the year in review. You're listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. I'll be right back. Hey, folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. That's right. It's the year in review at the Darren Harris Podcast. That's what I'm doing today. Hopefully you had a good year. My year was, man. I've had I don't know, man. I've had a pretty good year, but I've also had a really shitty year on a few different fronts. But I just want to say that even though my year wasn't the most spectacular year, I'm very happy about where I am in my life. I am very thankful for the people that I have in my life and the support system that I have. I could not do a lot of the things that I do without them. So I definitely would like to thank them and let them know that they are appreciated. So moving right along with the year in review. What else happened? Oh yeah, the Queen of England left us. Man, that's kind of shitty though, because how many of these little countries got to change their fucking money now? I mean, for real. I mean, you got to change you got to represent the new king, right? So especially if I was the king, yes, I need my own money. I'm the king, not the queen. I'm the king. I need something that says some sort of monetary denomination, some sort of number with my face. I need that. As the king of a nation or something, country, whatever it is, I need to have my own money. So I just think it'd be a pain in the ass for all these other places to just fucking have to switch out all their money because, I don't know, because the queen died or something. Also, one of the Dixie Chicks passed away, dark-haired one, the Laura Lynch lady. She passed away. God rest her soul. What else? Tom Brady retired. I know motherfuckers who cried, like men who cried when this motherfucker retired. I mean, it was like for like a week, some of these dudes were like they were menstruating, like they were really upset. I mean, you couldn't even talk to some of these motherfuckers. I mean, at all. I mean, it was hard when he left the Patriots and went to Tampa Bay. They was freaking out. But then they jumped on the Tampa Bay wagon. All right, at least we still got some Tom Brady. But then he left altogether, and their whole life fell apart. I mean, I don't even think they watch football anymore. I think they actually crochet or some shit like that now. I really don't know. I think that Tom Brady leaving like that just really kind of tore a bunch of people apart. So no more Super Bowl for Tom Brady. That's it. But he is the GOAT, man. The guy did it. He did the damn thing, man. If you're going to play football, that's the fucking way to do it. I will say that right now. Tom Brady knocked it out of the park. So shout out to you, TB, for being the man all these years and giving everybody, some nail-biting, cliff-hanging football. I mean, I've watched some football games where these motherfuckers were straight up losing. I mean, like, losing in the Super Bowl, losing and come back and come back to win, come back to knock it out of the park and win. I watched that happen. It was like one of them was like, it was the final play of the game, and it just miraculously was able to pull it out. But Tom Brady lost in the Super Bowl a couple times, though. Yes, he did. You know who he lost to? He lost to my Giants. That's right. He lost to my New York City Football Giants, which now they're actually more like a high school football team. But Tom Brady couldn't beat them. So thanks, Tom. Appreciate that, homie. Let's see. I'm still looking around to see what we got going on. Speaking of the Super Bowl, though, crutch word, Rihanna performed at the Super Bowl. And she got a lot of blowback because she was pregnant. But I read an article that said she didn't plan to do that. It's just that what they chose for war would not fit or button over her stomach. So she went out and did it anyway, to which she fucking killed it. But then she got a lot of blowback from a lot of people, man, which I'm just like, man, shut the fuck up, man. Just shut up. People always looking for a reason to fucking hate on somebody, man. It's so, I mean, it's not like that anywhere else. I mean, at least not to my knowledge. I mean, it is really like that here, though. Americans go out of their fucking way to hate on each other for bullshit, just for bullshit, man. This lady has given us some of the greatest music in the world, and a lot of the people that are fucking that are hating on her, they go straight to the club, and what are they doing? They're dancing to "Please Don't Stop the Music," which is fucking Rihanna. They sing to this chick all the time. They sing to this shit. I mean, this chick sings all the time to these people, but they are so shallow. People are so shallow and do not understand what people put into stuff like that. I mean, and people are so quick to pass judgment. Oh, she did this. Man, stand your ass up in front of the fucking Super Bowl and sing that shit. I dare you. I dare you. Half you motherfuckers can't even fucking zip up your pants right, let alone perform at the fucking Super Bowl. Pregnant. Tell you what, man, what it is y'all need to calm the fuck down. And this is really what you need to do. You need to take entertainment for exactly what it is. Entertainment. Uh-oh, sounds like something's going on outside. Maybe it's passing. I don't know. Had some sirens there for a second, but we're going to stay on the horse, though. LeBron James broke Kareem's record. Yes, he did. He passed Kareem for, scoring. Which also means he passed Michael Jordan for scoring. However, Michael Jordan is the GOAT. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. But I don't even, I mean, I don't know. Oh, man, what? I don't know, man. Bill Russell might be the GOAT, dude. Bill Russell might actually be the GOAT. He's got 11 rings in 13 seasons. That's ridiculous. He might be the motherfucking GOAT. I mean, and not only that, he was smaller than Wilt Chamberlain, but Wilt Chamberlain was never really able to dominate him. Now, granted, they were the two tallest black guys in the league, or the two tallest guys, let alone black guys, two tallest guys in the league at the time, but still, Wilt towered over him, but he was not able to dominate him. So I think that while what LeBron did was great, my man, you still got some shoes to fill as far as being the greatest of all time. And I'll tell you what, man. In my opinion, I mean, even though you got the scoring record, you still got some work to do to match the stature of Kareem, because that dude right there, I mean, come on, man. I don't see no names after LeBron. I don't see no signature moves after LeBron. But we all know what the skyhook is, and we all know where it came from. So, shout out to LeBron James, and shout out to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, what else happened? This is fucking terrible. Over 100 people are killed, and others are unaccounted for after wildfires engulf Maui. Nearly 3,000 homes and businesses were destroyed or damaged. Oprah and The Rock, they asked poor people for money and got cussed out by America. They really did too. The Rock and Oprah was like, oh, please, these people need help. Well, y'all got millions, and y'all got friends that got millions, and don't y'all got houses there? So we understand, but they was asking a bunch of poor, so they got a bunch of kickback. But I understand what they were trying to do. I really do. Because they just wanted to help people. They wanted to try to get everybody involved with helping people. And I'm a humanitarian. I although people are shitty, I don't like to see them suffer. So I didn't send any money, but I was with y'all in spirit. I prayed a lot. And I'm sorry that people lost the things that they lost. The reason that it happened is because the guy they hired, listen, something to the effect that the police chief they hired didn't like sound the alarm or some dumb shit like that to where they just got overran by fire. Just like that. There's people jumping off in the water. And those people, the majority of those people didn't make it. What do you choose? Burn to death or drown? What a fucking decision. I think I would have chose the water too, because at least with water, you can swim. Fire, you won't really have a chance. Once your ass starts burning, that's it. Crackle, crackle. So, pour some drink on the curb for them folks as well. What else? Oh yeah, this is kind of positive. It's still heartbreaking, but this is positive. Las Vegas police captured Dwayne Keith Davis, also known as Keefy D. What kind of dumbass name is Keefy D? Stupid. He was arrested for the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac Shakur. And, man, about fucking time. I mean, holy shit. It's been so fucking long before even it just doesn't make sense for things like that, because I guarantee you, if it was any other genre, anybody else, they would have found the motherfucker by now. They would have found his ass by now. By years ago, actually. They would have been found this motherfucker. Maybe in the first week it happened. But that's all right, because now we have closure. And that's good. That's good for us here. That's good for us here in the country of hip hop. There is a great calm, a big sigh of relief. A big sigh of relief for that. What else? The White House has confirmed findings of classified documents at not only the home of Donald Trump, but also the home of Joe Biden and George Bush, both the Bush boys. Bill and Hillary, they had some. Jimmy Carter had some. It seems like that's the thing to do, is take top secret shit to your house. That's exactly what it seems like to me. You just got some top secret shit. You're just going to take it to your... I'm going to tell you what. If that shit if I'm the president and that shit's supposed to be at the that shit stays at the White House. I don't need none of that shit at my house. I don't want none of that shit at my house. I will stay here at the job and I'll work on the top secret documents. I ain't taking none of that shit. I don't need none of this shit at my motherfucking house. And when I'm at I want to get the fuck away from y'all. I really do. I don't want to fucking run the country on Saturday, motherfucker. I don't need these fucking documents at my house. I'm not working on the fucking weekends. I told you. President Harris, bitch, I'm not doing it. Simple as that. India passed China for the world's most populous country. Uh-oh, China, y'all better start fucking each other. But that's right. India's got some problems, though, man. They got some issues. China, we all know China has issues, but India's got some issues. They got some issues with cleanliness, and I'm not trying to, I'm not really not saying that. I mean, I'm sorry for how it came out, but it's just the fucking truth, man. If y'all done seen Calcutta, man, this shit, man. I mean, I look at some of the players. Oh my God, I can't understand how they not doing shit about that. How motherfuckers are shitting in the street, but you motherfuckers is the best tech support on the face of the planet. I don't fucking get it. I really don't understand it. I mean, so for real, I mean, congratulations and hats off for all of that, but maybe some of y'all, all them people can figure out, I mean, it's really as smart as y'all are to fucking figure out how to fucking clean some of this shit up, man, because really, man, I mean, for real, my man, let's Let's work on some shit, all right? Let's work on it. Let's work on it. I promise that I will support every step that y'all take towards cleaning that shit up, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. So, speaking of cleaning, ethnic cleansing continues against the non-Arab population of Sudan. More than 10,000 people have been murdered and 5.6 million people have been driven from their homes. And that 10,000 people number has grown so much more than that. And they are literally, I mean, just it's bad. They're just killing people. They're just killing them. Same thing with the Congo. They're just killing them. They got there's I can't even get it out. There is a massive humanitarian crisis in Africa. However, you never hear about it. I mean, never hear about it. You don't hear about it. You hear about the Ukraine. You hear about Russia. You hear about Israel. You hear about Palestine. But you don't hear about Sudan, and you don't hear about the Congo. Why? I think it is high time that we start, everyone start holding the world accountable for their racism and their bullshit. Because if the Palestinians deserve aid and the Ukrainians deserve aid, the Congolese, they deserve aid too. And so the people in Sudan, they deserve aid. They deserve that aid. They deserve that help. But it's bullshit, though, because a lot of the Western countries and the countries where the colonizers they don't give a shit about black people. They don't give a fuck about black people. And that's why nothing happens. That's why nothing's said, because nobody gives a damn, because the sooner that all these black people kill themselves, the sooner that we can have all their land for ourselves. Wake up, black folks. Hey, folks, what's up? Welcome back. I'm back. Had to go to the bathroom. Make a quick, fast stop. Today, I'm doing the year in review on the show. When I left off, I think I was talking about ethnic cleansing or something like that. And we are going to rejoin and keep the ball rolling with 627 mass shootings this year. So far, we got a couple days left. 627 mass shootings. Ain't that some bullshit, folks? That's according to the Gun Violence Archive, if you want to look it up for yourselves. And just in case you guys are unaware, mass shootings are defined as an incident in which 4 or more victims are shot or killed at any given moment or any given incident. So we've had mass shootings in Lewiston, Maine, Nashville, Tennessee, Buffalo, New York, Uvalde, Texas, just to name a few. This October, the one in Lewiston was the deadliest shooting of the year. It left 18 people dead. I mean, in Maine. I mean, not even like Florida. Maine. I just don't understand. Our lack of ability to understand that this is a problem in our country and then take proper steps for gun control to reduce this. There needs to be more gun control. And I listen, I chalk up a lot of the mass shootings to people that are overly stressed, the ease, I mean, how easy it is to obtain a firearm. You can get a firearm anywhere. I mean, really, you could find them shits nowadays. You could make them shits nowadays. I mean, for real, it's so easy to get a gun in a lot of states, in a lot of places, so easy to get a gun. Here in Tampa, in Ybor City, over the Christmas holiday, there were 2 people killed. A bystander was killed, but a 14-year-old shot and killed another 14-year-old. Shot him in the back. People are just comfortable now with carrying weapons on their person, concealed at any time. If there's any kind of altercation or beef, or I'm just having a bad day, I can pull this weapon out, and I can take my bad day out on you to the point where you don't have any more days. And it's a shame that people are so quick to take someone else's life, especially in that, those large of number, those 18 people, man. How many people are affected by this? Just those 18 people, just those people in Lewiston, Maine. Not to mention Birmingham, Alabama, 2 people dead and 3 others injured. Washington, D.C., 9 people were injured in a drive-by shooting. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. What is it? A suspect clad in bulletproof vests, carrying a rifle, multiple rounds of ammunition, opened fire, killing at least 5 people and wounding 2 children, one only 15 years old. Fort Worth, Texas, at least 3 people were killed and 8 others were injured in a shooting on my birthday following an annual July 4th event. My birthday's on July 3rd, by the way. Baltimore, Maryland, at least 30 people were injured, 2 fatally, when a mass shooting erupted at a neighborhood party, at the house party. Dallas, Texas, 8 people were killed and 7 others were injured when a gunman opened fire at an outdoor mall north of Texas. Atlanta, Georgia, 1 person was killed and 4 injured in a mass shooting at an Atlanta medical center on May the 3rd. Cleveland, Texas, 5 people were killed being shot in a Texas home by a suspect with an AR-15 style rifle. What is that? Dadeville, Alabama. 4 people were killed, 28 others injured when a mass shooting broke out at a crowded Sweet 16 birthday party. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, really? Louisville, Kentucky. 4 people were killed and 8 others, including 2 police officers, have been injured following a mass shooting at a bank in Louisville, Kentucky. Nashville, Tennessee. 3 children and 3 staff members were shot and killed at a private school in Nashville, Tennessee. And that's just the most detestable shit in the world, by the way, to me. Just the killing of children. I mean, they have nothing to do with your bad day or what the fuck whatever your fucking problem is. They got nothing to do with that, man. These kids had nothing to do with that. They just showed up going to school today, not even thinking, and their parents either. Not even thinking that they weren't going home today. But we don't pass legislation or nothing to fucking say, hey, listen, we're going to do this. We're going to make the penalties more harsh, da-da-da-da-da. We don't do anything. We just vote to keep our guns. Michigan State University, 3 people were killed and 5 others injured after a shooting at multiple locations on Michigan State University's East Lansing campus, Oakland, California. At least 1 person was killed and 7 others. Oh, man, getting some low battery action. I need to keep that up. Where was I at? Oakland, California, on the night of January 23rd. Half Moon Bay, California, at least 7 people were killed and several more were left seriously injured in a shooting. Monterey Park, California, at least 11 people were killed, 10 others injured. Enoch City, Utah, a family of 8 people, including 5 children. On the good side, though, there were 14 days this year that the police didn't kill anybody. I love that. So the bad side of that is the other 351 days, the police killed somebody. That's this year, folks. That's 2023. So I'm going to move on from that. The space race heats up. Everybody's trying to get their ass to space. And me personally, I'm digging that. I'm really digging the whole space race thing because I'm a space nerd. I've always wanted to be an astronaut. I've always wanted. So when I hear people, breaking through, doing things, and I'm always intrigued by that. So when I hear, this rover landed and shot pictures of this, or here's the clearest photos of Venus shot by NASA to date, I'm always intrigued by that type of stuff because I just wonder what's out there. I'm just enthralled by it. So we've been trying to get out. We've been trying to get to the moon and Mars, or back to the moon, forever. People are like, if we went to the moon, then how come it's so hard to get back to the moon? I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't want to say it's real. I don't want to say it's fake. I don't really. We just need to get the fuck up there. And a lot of people are. This is what's happening, and this is a prediction of mine. Now, think about it like this: what is the Earth made of? It's like rocks and all kinds of shit, mountains, but it's also made of stuff like gold and diamonds and things of that nature, silver, platinum, cobalt, all kinds of shit, all kinds of that shit. Well, the asteroid belt is the same shit as the Earth. Some of these things are in the asteroid belt. So I believe that there are a lot of companies that are now producing reusable rockets so that they can mine the asteroid field. Is really what I think that will be happening, especially once AI, or you have some AI robots to do the work. Once that's up and running, man, wow. I mean, you can send. See, and this is why I think sometimes AI, especially coupled with some of this technology, some of this space technology, is a good thing because, man, if you send some humans out into space, but you could send robots as far and as fast as you want to send them motherfuckers, and if they blow the fuck up, it's just some robots. So you could do a lot of test missions. You know what I'm saying? I would test mission this shit. I really would. Especially on some, like, you guys are artificial intelligence, and we're just going to send you guys out in space. You guys are going to monitor space. You're going to tell us what you see. And meanwhile, you're out there, you're going to collect all kind of data and information, and you're going to relay it back to us in real time. And you're going to help us get out there to where you are. You're going to try and find inhabitable planets. All kinds of stuff. So there are, practical and good applications for artificial intelligence. I really do believe that, especially when it gets to things of that nature. When you're like off world or doing things like that. I mean, it really does. It cuts down the danger for the human population. Not to say, it's just robots, because, they cost money. Robots cost money. And, I don't want to, say it like that, or think about it like that, but, these are things that are going to be built as tools to help humans get further. You know what I'm saying? Get further in space. Get further. And that's what we trying to do. That's what we trying to do. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to, just in case, man, just in case. Because I always like to say in my podcast, there's some sort of a space rock rocketing at this motherfucker right now. And we need to figure out how to get off of it before this happens. I talk a lot of corny shit. This is the Darren Harris Podcast. I'll be right back. Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. Doing my year in review. Things that have happened. I did a first half of the show, beginning of the show, let's say that. I kind of went over a lot of subjects that were kind of negative, that were kind of like, man, that's, whew, man. We don't have it good here. Shit is bad. Shit is getting real bad. But I think I can maybe lighten it up a little bit. I'll lighten it up a little bit. Let's see. What else do I have? And I'm just going to rip through these just because China reopens its borders to international visitors. Yay! I can't front, though. I cannot front, though. A lot of these, especially like during the pandemic, I was looking at all these memes of like places in China. Man, I'd like to go check out some of this shit they got in China. Some of that shit is beautiful. Some of that shit is like, I can't believe that shit is on Earth. It don't look like it's on this planet. Some of that shit is absolutely amazing. I'd love to go see it. So I think that's kind of dope. Now, if we could only manage some decent relations with China so that when I go there, I ain't looked at all crazy, which they're going to look at me crazy anyway. But I'd like to, I really would like to go visit China. Anyway, UFOs are real now. It turns out that Ed Norton is related to Pocahontas. LeBron James passes 38,000 points. The TV show Night Court is back. Multiracial country singer wins CMT's Video of the Year award. Kane Brown has a white mother, Tabitha Brown, and an African American father who is also part Cherokee. The Dalai Lama apologizes for a video showing him asking a little boy to suck his tongue after receiving widespread criticism. Ugh. To which the little boy promptly did. That's fucking disgusting. The Dalai Lama, come on, man. I can't never believe nothing else this guy says now. I don't give a fuck how good your advice is. I gotta erase all that shit from my brain. New York City appoints the first ever rat czar. Kathleen Coriarty becomes the city's first ever director of rat mitigation. Writer E. Jean Carroll testifies in a New York court that Donald Trump raped her in a department store in the 1990s. The U.S. Army renames Fort Bragg in North Carolina as Fort Liberty as a part of an effort to remove Confederate names from military bases. Virgin Galactic makes its first space tourism flight. Twitter changes its name to X. Lisa Marie Presley dies of cardiac arrest at the age of 55. I will be turning 54 on July 3rd. That is very real. Jeremy Renner's snowplow accident, where he miraculously survived. I really am anxious to see if he's able to get back to, because I'm sure he's recovering right now, and I'm not really sure if there's going to be any more Avengers movies, or if we're ever going to like see his character Hawkeye again, or if he's even going to play any action type roles, which he was becoming an action movie star. Hey, but I really would like to see this guy make a comeback, because that is a crutch word and a half when I say okay? So, like I said, the crutch words are still here in 2023. I'm going to see if I can get rid of them shits in 2024. But anyway, here are a few things to look forward to, that I'm looking forward to at least in 2024. The Bob Marley movie, One Love, that shit is coming out on February 14th. And that's Valentine's Day. I'm going to go take my wife, and we're going to go sit in the theater, and we're going to watch the story of Bob Marley, which is long overdue. And the brother they got to play Bob Marley, from the trailers that I've seen, the brother did a great job. He did a fantastic job. He's actually in, what was it? It's on Disney Plus, the Marvel show with Nick Fury. I think it was called Secret Wars or something like that. He was the bad guy in Secret Wars, but from what he's not from the United States. He's from someplace else. I believe he's from Europe or someplace, but that brother right there, serious as Bob Marley, so I'm looking forward to that. Other movies that are coming out is Bad Boys 4, which I'm also anxious to see that because that's Will Smith back on the screen. Not really, since, because I watched Emancipation, which was great, by the way. And it's a shame because, I've seen several movies. It's going to be hard for a lot of movies to top that movie. That movie right there, Best Picture, best actor, best everything, but he's just he ain't not qualified for another 9 years. But I'm still looking forward to Bad Boys 4 coming out. Deadpool 3 is coming out, which is going to be good. Another Ghostbusters movie and another Joker movie is coming out too, which the first one was wild business. The Joker, and you're like, listen, dude, Mr. Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix, dude got his shit popping as the Joker. Very, very believable actor. I really like him. His expressions, you feel that dude. You feel that guy's pain. And he just got really fed up with the world, man. And he just went out there and showed everybody. But the Joker, the next movie, I'm anxious to see if they introduce Batman's character or Bruce Wayne at all, if they introduce that to this movie. So I'm anxious to see that. Also, if you are like me, I'm a Dune fan. So my wife and I saw the old version of it. And my wife, we're sitting there watching the new version, and I'm explaining to her, about what's going on. She's like, well, I said, they are there. They're trying to get the spice. That the movie is about the spice, and it's like the essence of the planet and the worms. And I was trying to, and then she was watching the movie, and she paused and she said to me, hey, babe, are these people fighting over turmeric? And I was like, yeah, I guess they are kind of fighting over some turmeric. So my wife calls it turmeric. So Turmeric 2 will be coming out. And I can't wait for that because the new version was actually very good. I really did enjoy it. Isaac Asimov was good. He died his ass off, though. Another Planet of the Apes movie is coming out, too, which I definitely, I'm wanting to see that as well. So there will be a presidential election. And, man, I'm afraid. I really am. I'm afraid because I just think either way we go, it gets worse from here. And I don't see any relief in sight. I mean, especially if our boy number 45 gets reelected, I don't see it being real good for me here. People, oh, you overreact? No, I really don't think so. Think about it. When he was elected last time, he made it okay for people to be openly racist and stand up in it. He made it okay for people to be openly rude and narcissistic. He made it okay for that. And they still running on that shit. And these people are waiting in the wings to quote unquote take this country and make it the way that it used to be, which is not good for me. It's just not. The Olympics. Remember when we used to be good at the Olympics? We get our ass beat now by everybody at our own shit, the shit that we create. We're getting, we coming in, we got the greatest basketball squad on the face of the earth, and we be coming in second and third and shit. Come on, y'all. We need to get off ourselves and get back to the business of competing. Get back to the business of training and competing for goodwill. Instead of training and competing for endorsements and acceptance. Dominique Dawes is coming back, though. Yay. Definitely am looking forward to that. And I want to say thank you to my family. And I know in this next year that there will be many members of my family who will finally get to the point where they are prospering, myself included. I feel that this year could be my year, folks. What do you think? What do you think? That's my first prediction for 2024, is that this will be my year. This will be the year that I go through the roughest time in my life. But it'll also be the year where I come out on the other side a whole new person. Renewed, grounded, effective, wiser. I think that this is my year. Other things that I predicted, that the price of gold will reach record highs. And I am trying to buy gold myself. I've been trying to buy gold for a long time. Gold is going to be that standard, because I'm going to tell you what, man. I want some gold, because in the event that the economy in this motherfucker crashes or some shit happens and this shit, I mean, listen, I watched, and you should all watch, the Netflix movie Leave the World Behind. Go watch that movie. Go watch it. It's scary. It'll make you think. So my wife and I are making preparations, should you say, or should I say. I think the global food aid will run low and people will begin to starve. We'll start seeing more of that in this country. There are more and more people that are food insecure in this country, not just around the world, but in this country. I will definitely. It's gonna, if something doesn't happen as far as our economy is concerned, not necessarily our economy, if we're not able to get a grasp on ourselves here, we're gonna start suffering. I don't know, folks. I think that a comet will pass us. There's something that's going to pass us. I'm just going to say it's going to come out of nowhere. Remember, I keep telling you, there's going to be a rock that passes close to this planet. And it's going to give everybody a wake-up call. It's going to give everybody a wake-up call. Because they're out there, man. They really are. These planet, and they come out of the darkness, and they come out of nowhere, and they can end us. So I think that there will be one that is going to pass close enough to Earth. People will start waking up and going, hey, man, we need to start thinking in a different way. We need to start thinking in a different way. Of course, I could be wrong about that one. People just get more and more selfish, but I think people will start thinking in a different way. I think USB-C will become the world's standard, with or without Apple. I think so. I think the USB-C is what it is now. I just got a new MacBook, and it's USB-C. Ding. I haven't changed or upgraded my iPhone yet, but from what I understand, that's what it is too. So I think that's where we're going. I don't know. I think this year that there is going to be major conflict in this country. There is going to be a serious reckoning in this country. And I don't want to say civil war or anything like that. I'm not trying to say race war or anything like that. I'm saying there's going to come a serious reckoning in this country. Something that's long overdue, that's unspoken, that we are all dealing with, whether we like it or not. And that's the issue of racism. That is going to come to a head here. And we're going to do what we can. And I know that I will, to make sure that we squash as much of it. It'll never go away. But I'm going to do my part to squash as much of it as I can. And finally, folks, I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I kind of do New Year's maybes. I want to improve my fitness. I'm starting to feel weak. I'm starting to feel a little buttery around the midsection, a little macaroni and cheesy around the waist area. I want to improve my finances, kind of buckle down, save a little bit of money so my wife and I can maybe purchase a piece of property. I'm going to purchase a piece of property. I want to buckle down so that we can get some property. I want to improve my mental state of being because I suffer a lot. And I don't talk about it a lot. I used to go into it, but I don't really go into it too much anymore. But I suffer a lot. And I think that this will be a year for me that I have a breakthrough with my treatment. And it will be for the positive. But like I said, I'm going to have to go through a lot before that. So not looking forward to it, but at the same time, I am looking forward to it. I'm already changing my diet, but I think this year I'm going to change my whole diet. I'm going to give up a bunch of shit that I love and I hate to do it. So after I get off the podcast today, I'm going to go in there and eat a bunch of chocolate pudding because I think I'm going to start trying to either figure out how to make something that's healthy for me or not eat stuff like that anymore. And that goes for pies and things of that nature, things that I just absolutely love. If I can't figure out a different way to make it or have it, then I won't be able to, or have somebody make it for me. Then I'm afraid that I'm going to have to give up a lot of things that I love because I just can't eat the way that I used to. My body just doesn't. It just doesn't. And also at the same time, I want to keep my vitality. I want to try and live as long as I can. I got kids. I got a beautiful wife. And I want to try to be around for as long as I can. So I definitely want to change my diet to go with me exercising. And that's another thing. My back hurts so much. I haven't been able to exercise a lot. So like I said, I've gotten a little buttery around the edges. So I hope to be able to exercise coming up soon so I can get back into shape. And I haven't ridden my bike in well over a year, 2 years. So I want to get back to ride my bicycle and things of that nature and just really kind of getting outside because I don't really go out much. I have anxiety a lot, so I sit inside a lot. I mean, I do go outside from time to time. Maybe I'll go to the store. We'll maybe run some errands, but we don't do a whole lot. And I want this year to be the year that I get back to doing the things that made me who I was when I was Deron, before I was diagnosed with, like years ago, because there were so many things that I did before that I no longer do that made me happy, but I just can't understand why I don't do them anymore. And this year, I'm going to make the conscious effort to put everything I have back into my craft, which is stand-up comedy. That's the first thing that I love. So this year, I'm going to vow to jump into stand-up comedy with both feet and both balls because I love that more than anything. To see people laugh is joy for me. So if I'm a part of that, then that's heaven for me. So I'm going to make it an absolute must to, I don't care how far I have to go or how long or short the sets are or how many people are in the audience. I just want to be back on stage. And that is what I'm focusing at, is all of my talent streams, is to cultivate and continue to cultivate those things and not to turn them away, because that's what happened in the first place. That's what put me to where I am in the first place, is I gave myself away for everyone else. And I gave so much of myself away that there was none left for me. You know what I mean? There was none left for me. So this year, I will make this resolution, is to leave enough of myself for myself, to treat myself better, to have faith in myself, to go out into the world with courage, to dream, to continue to dream, because I've stopped. I've stopped. But now I'm starting to see little glimmers of who I used to be. And it makes me happy because I know that it's still in there. And it also makes me excited because it's still in there. And I want to peel it out. But I also have to remind myself that Lisa Marie Presley died at 55 years old. And July 3rd, I'll be 54. So whatever it is that I do, I got to try my best to make the best of it, right? Just like you two folks. I think that's going to do it for this episode of the Darren Harris Podcast, folks. It really is. Thanks for sitting with me another year. I thank you guys. I cannot believe that I've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years. And you guys have been with me, especially the people who have stuck with me. I mean, there are people that have actually stuck with me, believe it or not. I can't believe it, and I do appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thank you. Thank you so much, because I just want to get better. I want to give you better content. I'm trying to come up with stuff now. It's not always easy, but it helps me along. It helps me along because it occupies me, and it doesn't leave me to sit in my own thoughts. And the reason I do the podcast is because I have listeners. I have people like you out there that are listening for me, and I don't think I just feel like I can't let you down. So again, thank you very much for listening to me, folks, and I hope that I'm doing all right by you. And let me know if there's anything that I can improve. I'm always open for suggestions. I'm always open for criticism. Hit me between the eyes with it. I'm open to it. So I want to tell you all that I love you. I really, really do. And I want to thank my parents for being the absolute greatest parents on the face of the earth. I just love them so much. I got the greatest parents. I really do. And also my chick bad. My chick good. I got the best wife in the world. I really do. And I love you, baby. And about to have another New Year's Eve on some wild night, girl. You ready? It's coming up. And I want to thank you guys again, man. I want to thank my best friend, Jesse Yandel, for putting me up to this podcast. And thank you for the show prep. I do appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform to do my podcast on. And I hope I'm doing all right, man. Let me know. Let me know if I'm not. So, and again, last but not least, again, I want to thank you all. I really do. I really do. I really, really do. I think it's great that every week my producer tells me that I have at least 2,000 unique listeners. So that's something, right? I think so. I think that's pretty good. I was flabbergasted. I'm for all this time I thought like 7 people were listening. So I'm glad to know that more than 7 people have decided to turn on my podcast. So I do appreciate you. And man, I've stretched this out way, way long. Anyway, you guys I hope you had a great Christmas first, but I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful New Year. And I want you guys to do me a favor in the New Year, whether or not you listen to me in the New Year or not. Treat yourself well, okay? Treat yourself well mentally. Make sure of that. It is so important. So many people knock people's things that are wrong with people mentally. They think people are lying, or they think that they're over exaggerating. And I will be the first person to tell you that it is very real. Mental health issues are very real, because I don't know if I've probably said it in podcasts before, but I take medication, and I take medication to prevent me from crying all day, because I feel like I want to cry a lot. I really do. And I don't know why that is. A lot of it is, I do kind of know, but I kind of don't know. All I know is that I want to do whatever I can to get myself back to a point where I'm happy. I'm happy again. And you guys are a part of that. So I want to thank you for that as well. All right. I guess that's it, folks. I will see you in 2024, baby. That's right. It's going to be 2024 the next time I talk to you. So be careful, man, because there's a lot of assholes on the road. There's going to be a lot of drunk douchebags, folks. Be careful. Don't be the drunk douchebag. If you're drunk, don't get out on the road and jeopardize your life and anybody else's. Please do yourself and everybody else that favor, man. If it's take an Uber, you know what I'm saying? Walk if you can, or sit at home with your people and just tell them how much you love them, because I think that's the route I'm going to take this year for myself. I don't think I'm really even going anywhere. I think I'm just going to sit right here. I'm going to skip all the fireworks. I'm going to have a nice cozy night at home and play chess with my wife and maybe some other things. All right, folks. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.